Hi guys, my name is Sarah McKinney and this is my first YouTube video. So I thought I would tell you guys a little bit about me and why I'm doing this. So currently I am a stay-at-home mom, but I am doing that after spending 6 years as a high school theater teacher. There were a couple of reasons that I chose to no longer teach and no longer do theater as actively as I was doing. I was putting on about 6, 7 shows a year with my students in my advanced class and just students in the general school. So I went from spending every day leaving my house by 6:30 in the morning and usually not coming home till 9 or 10 o'clock at night, teaching 5 different theater internal subjects and then directing a play, to watching my daughter grow up. And I love it, and I'm really happy that I made the decision. So one of the reasons that I decided to be a stay-at-home mom is because I felt like the best person to take care of my daughter was me. And not that my husband couldn't, because he would be a really great stay-at-home dad. But I really, really, really just wanted to be there with her and take care of her. And at the end of the day, he left it up to me, which was really great. He's really supportive, and it's really exciting. But so there were a couple of things that made me go, no, it's going to be me. And one of those was both of us felt really strongly about breastfeeding, and in that we wanted to breastfeed our children. And not that he's doing it, I'm doing it, but I wanted to give each of my children the most I could possibly give to them. And one thing that I realized really quickly, while I was pregnant and still teaching, was that breastfeeding and keeping up the milk supply by pumping during the day at work is just not feasible as a teacher. One of the things that you have to be able to do if you're pumping and working is that you have to be able to, every 2 to 3 hours, stop whatever it is that you're doing for at least 20 minutes to just pump. And when you're teaching a class, each class can be anywhere from, depending on the way that your school's scheduled, it can be anywhere from an hour block with a 5-minute break for kids to get to and from their next class and for you to prepare for your next class that you're teaching, to an hour and a half before you get another about 5-10 minute break. So even in the breaks between classes, when you're setting things up for the next class, you don't have enough time to pump. And can you imagine the freak out you would get as a teacher if your students went home and told their parents that you were pumping in the middle of class? And again, I taught high school, so there's a whole nother level there where the kids get really inappropriate with things that are not inappropriate at all. It still would not be considered acceptable to do at work as a teacher. So I knew that if I was staying as a teacher, I wouldn't be able to keep up my milk supply, and therefore I wouldn't be able to continue to breastfeed my daughter. So teaching as a whole, as far as a really nurturing career, and I did pick teaching because I wanted to nurture. I love seeing light bulbs go on in people's eyes and helping people learn. Part of why I also wanted to nurture my children, same sort of thing, except they're mine, so I really wanted to nurture them. But yeah, it really was not going to let me set myself up for being successful as a breastfeeding and working mom. The career just doesn't let that happen. So another reason that I chose to stay home instead of keep working was the fact that, like I said before, the hours I put in were ridiculous. And while they really and put out some great projects. I love being able to go through the full creative process of reading and analyzing a script, creating and analyzing the characters, and then guiding students and others into really showing who that character is and how they're doing it and the whole world behind it. So the research behind historical shows, how the clothing laid, what people would and wouldn't wear, the colors, the fabrics, all of that. I loved the research side as well as the application side. But that took so much time. I would spend all day teaching. So the school that I taught at started at 8 a.m. and the last class ended at 3:30, and I had a conference in there that was about an hour long, with a 30-minute lunch. And I usually worked straight through lunch and straight through my conference period, whether it was researching, sewing, building the props, editing things, building the set, painting the set, whatever part of what needed to happen for the play, that's what I was doing. And then I had rehearsal that started 15 minutes after school got out and went for about 2 hours every day. And that's not counting the Saturdays that we would go up and work too, and Sunday afternoons where we would have set builds. Shout out to my former main stagers. So, if any of them ever find this and decide to watch it, they all have a special place in my heart. I knew that if I kept teaching, I would want to keep up the same level of dedication to my students that I had previously had. And I also knew that I would want to have the same level of commitment and dedication to my own children. And that just doesn't really work. There aren't enough hours in the day. There's not enough time in the week. I was already not getting much more than like 5-6 hours of sleep then. And then on top of that, having taken care of my child and feeding throughout the night, and just wanting to, I felt like I would feel really guilty, and that I wouldn't be the best mom that I could be by splitting my time. I don't think that that's something that I'm capable of. So that's why I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Now, why YouTube? I love being social, and part of being an extrovert, which I am, unlike my husband who is an introvert, I really sort of recharge and re-energize being around people. And being a stay-at-home mom doesn't let you do that very often. So, I was throwing around ideas and talking about how what I miss the most about teaching is giving the information for people to be able to use and having connections with people. I really miss talking to 150 different people a day, and you can't get that really anywhere else than teaching. And I really miss that. I miss having the creative process go from start to finish and really do the creative process. So my husband was like, hey, why don't you give YouTube a try? Because then you get to still teach. So I just thought, why not, and give it a shot. And I like to talk, and I like to give information and teach. So if I can help people who want to do cosplay or Renaissance fairs, because I love Renaissance fairs. I really enjoy doing the costumes for that. And so if I can show people how I do it and some tricks of the trade that I've learned, and then they can go and do that and enjoy it, then that's something that's really cool. I'm also really nerdy, kind of geeky. I tend to, instead of doing like one fandom where I'm just like, oh my god, this fandom and I love it and it's amazing, that's all I can think about. I just really, really like a lot of different things, so I don't get super hyper focused on one fandom, but I love the creativity and how characters are created and how why colors and different patterns and styles are used for different people, and I really like coming at it from sort of that designer director side. So between historical and analyzing everything, yeah, I think it will be a lot of fun to just put this out there and see what people think, and maybe I can change a life one person at a time, because that would be really great to keep helping people kind of find something that they love and find out that they can do it too. Because if you want to really do something and you put your mind and heart to it, and please don't let it be harmful to other people. That's kind of my stipulation always. Like, if it's not harmful to you and it's not harmful to others and you love it and you're passionate about it, you should do it, because that's part of what makes this life wonderful. And if I can spread that and help people actualize some of what they wish they could do, and realize some of who they are, and that being a little quirky and being knowledgeable is okay, and wanting to be you don't have to fit into any one mold. You can be really out there and outgoing and kind of nerdy and different and weird, but you can also still be very traditional and respect. I mean, I love theater and creativity, and but I also love history, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want to put my career first. And again, I love that people are able to do that. It's just not who I am. And yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll come back for more. Bye. Hey guys, if you like what you see and you want to see some more, and maybe get to see a little more of Grace too, hit subscribe.